New York, big city of dreams. New York, big city of dreams.
What's going on? This is Jay Ellis from Knick Of Time Show. Here, give me the Knicks talk, just Knick of Time. I'm starting off with violence today. Pissed, kind of pissed off. So I just gotta get something off my chest real quick before I really start the show. And before I even start, I already know what people say. Yo, you can't blame the refs. Yeah, the refs, they don't determine the game and da-da-da-da-da. The Knicks did something. I know the Knicks did not play perfectly. I know perfectly well that we missed free throws 67% from the free throw line. I know we did that. I know the second unit didn't play up to par. I know we missed big free throws, big ones. But besides all that, to me, right now, Jalen Brunson is the most disrespected superstar in the NBA for numerous amounts of reasons. All right. And it kind of all starts with Kenny Smith talking about he's the second best player on every given night on any given team, to the Becky Hammond 1A comment that's been happening, to the lack of foul calls that we're getting in crucial moments or in just moments in general. You already heard me talk about the lack of foul calls before this show, where he's had multiple games where he's had zero free throws. And as a guard who is a top 3, top 4 finisher in the NBA, who lives in the paint more than anybody else in the NBA, for him to be in the paint as much as he is, to even have 2 0-point free throw nights, is absurd. But nights like this, when the game is on the line, people getting ticky-tack calls, and for him to miss 2-and-1 calls in crucial moments of the game is just absurd. It's ridiculous. It's crazy because I feel like he's being treated like he's hunting fouls. I don't know if it's because he takes a lot of charges, so the refs feel like, you know what, he tried to take a lot of charges, so I'm not going to give him calls somewhere else. I don't know if it's because he's strong, so they don't, and he actually plays through a lot of contact, so they just don't count it. But they are obliviously missing huge calls that could swing the game into our favor. There was 2 big free throw calls missed. One where he just had a mid-range midi on the right side to go glass, gets smacked. No call. That's a 3-point play that should be called in his favor. And then Ru Dort has 4 fouls, gets a 6th foul, should have been called a 6th foul, on another potential and 1 play with Jalen Brunson falling to the floor and getting the ball in the basket. He didn't get a call there either. Like, I don't understand what this man has to do to get a foul. Like, I'm Tom Thibodeau. We just need to pony up the super chats and give it to Tom Thibodeau and tell him to go at these refs and call them out and get this fine, because it seems like nothing's going to change. It just seems like nothing is going to change unless we just have to be supremely outspoken. And we already know what's going to happen. Shout out to people on Twitter who's saying this. Too many reports going to come out. They're going to be like, ooh, Jalen Brunson was fouled with 3 seconds. The rest missed his call. Dort should have been fouled out. We already know what's going to happen, but it seems like it's meaningless right now. And it's frustrating. It's extremely frustrating to be where we are for a guy who is number 4 in the NBA in scoring and still does not get the respect of a guy who's number 4 in the NBA in scoring, still doesn't even get the respect of enough MVP chatter for a guy who's number 4 in the NBA in scoring. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know why the league is turning a blind eye. I don't know if it's just they still pissed at Dolan, and it's just some carryover from the Dolan and these guys not trying to do any media reports, but something is wrong. And something has to change, because this is getting ridiculous. And that's all I got to say. And I'm going to introduce you, my guys. I already warned them I was going to rant at the beginning because I had to get that off. So salute to the chat. Salute to KOT fam. I'm going to introduce you guys to the man, the myth, the legend, the guy with the stats and the facts.
Brian G's in the building, and yes, Jalen Brunson is one of the most disrespected players in the NBA, especially with the way he's been playing this season. But at the same time, there are other reasons why the Knicks lost this game.
And I'm not denying it. I'm not denying the other reasons the Knicks lost this game. And we'll definitely get into that. That's why I led with that. But it still stands. The disrespect is crazy.
Yeah.
And of course, you already know it's our guy, Latin Assassin, the Escobedo. What's going on, Lee?
What's up, KOT fam? JLS is right. Brunson's top 3 driving to the rim. Number 1 is SGA, 23.7 rim drives a game. Brunson's at 19. But here's another point of evidence for JLS's argument. SGA has 3.9 free throw mates and 4.5 free throw attempts on his drives. Brunson only has 2.3 free throw attempts on his drives. So SGA only drives 4 more times a game, but it's double the free throw attempts off of those drives. So there's definitely a disparity there. SGA is one of those players who does get the superstar whistle, and Brunson is not. All that being said, I'm not upset about this game, and I can't wait to jump into why.
All right, let's get to it. And you already know, Rookie of the Year, XD1 baller, Ebony's in the building. What's going on, Ebony?
Hey, I'm good. Just this hurt. I wanted OKC because they kind of whooped us on us the last time we played. I really did want this game. But I did see some positives. We beat ourselves.
You did.
Really did in an aspect. We didn't help ourselves. We left a lot of points on the line. You can't do that. You can't leave the points on the line. So yeah, we know we're gonna get into it. But I agree. Jalen Brunson is the most disrespected star. To be 4th in scoring and not even make a top 10 MVP ladder is kind of questionable, especially when your team is fighting for a third, fourth, 2nd to 4th seed right now. So yeah, I agree with that. And the refs are very inconsistent. It's hard to know what to do. What can I do? And I have a question for the panel, and I guess we can get to it later on or whenever. Do y'all think that our reputation is hurting us right now? Like our identity right now of being a physical defensive team, is that hurting us right now? Because it seems like a lot of teams can do a lot more physicality than we can. And when is it that you just ask for a flagrant to be reviewed and they do that? Because it was nothing intentional or malintent with that foul with Devo and with Devo and who was it? iHeart was in that vicinity. Yeah, iHeart was in it was nothing. It was nothing like the other one. I thought that Williams should have been was it Keldon? I forgot his name. Kendrick, sorry. I thought he should have been kicked out. He went for his neck and yanked him.
Yeah.
Normally that is a flagrant 2. Like that could have been really, really bad. So I just felt like it was a very up and down game when it came to that. So I understand being frustrated with the refs. It was very, very inconsistent. The fact that their offensive fouls were never looked at, and it was just it was a charge. But where us, it was automatic personal foul. We had to actually challenge to see
like
so
stuff like that was like Jalen Brunson gets the defensive foul 2 times in a row, then Deuce gets that, and then meanwhile you see Jalen Williams pushing Deuce off with his off arm, nothing. Or like you said, Chet mowing down Deuce and nothing. We had the challenge.
Yeah,
it's been weird. Even the foul call that got overturned.
Yes, there's no hand checking in basketball. There's no more hand checking. So the moment a person's hand goes on your hip, that's a foul. It's supposed to be at least because you're deterring them off their path. How do you look at that and still call it not a foul? This is not the 90s. There's no more hand checking.
I don't understand. Not only that, he hit him on the forearm after he hand checked them, and they missed both of them. I'm like, y'all missed both fouls and overturned it. I don't understand. I don't understand reffing anymore. I don't even know the rules. I don't. They're just making up their rules as they go on. But
facts. But also, I want to say about you, like you just mentioned with Jalen Williams. He pushed off all game. All game, that baby was pushing off. That arm extended a lot today. And when he got that jam, that shouldn't have counted. He cleared Deuce the heck out, cleared the whole lane. And Deuce, did what he could to try to recover. But when you got to playing a bigger person like that, and then he just clears you out, there's not much you can do.
I hear you. I hear you. Well, let's get to this game. I don't even know if you want to start off with that question, guys. Like, do you feel like our play style is working against us right
now? Oh, tell me. I you want me to start off?
Well, if you want to, I asked. I mean, you
Nah.
asked.
Yeah, I asked it.
No,
I didn't want to answer it.
I'm just responding in the chat because people are just in the chat acting a damn fool salmon. So I just felt the need to respond to his dumb ass. But but yeah, someone can go first though. Like, let me gather my thoughts about the deal. So yeah, somebody else go first.
I'll go first. I would have thought it would have worked to our advantage since the lead was allowing more physicality and calling less titty-tat fouls. If the Knicks, the most physical team in the NBA, would be able to adjust the quickest to the new style of refereeing, but it hasn't been the case. And it's not just Brunson that I've noticed is getting ignored with the fouls. It's also McBride and Dante DiVincenzo, guys who I think don't have a reputation for drawing fouls or even being judged at a really harsher rate than some of the other role players on OKC. But I saw the backup bum, Jalen Williams, the one who's really shitty. I saw him getting more fouls drawn than Isaiah Hartenstein or Deuce McBride. So I was like, the discrepancy here is wild. I don't think any of the specific Knicks have a foul-prone identity, or none of the guys on the team are viewed as vicious or dirty, in my opinion, with this current roster. But somehow, when there's physicality in the paint, the Knicks are the last ones that are looked at for being able to be judicious on calling it, whether it's right or wrong in terms of drawing a foul or not drawing a foul, which is surprising. It might have more to do with Tom Thibodeau and his coaching style than it does to the specific individuals who on the court at any given time.
Yeah, well said. Well said. I don't know, man. I just feel like I think because Jalen Brunson drew a lot of fouls, or I think the perception is he draws a lot of fouls. I think the perception of him drawing a lot of fouls, getting charges, is starting to work against them now because I feel like they don't want to call as much, even if it is a charge. For some reason, I feel like towards last year he was getting a reputation of drawing a lot of fouls too. And I feel like that reputation is kind of carried over into this year, even though it was exaggerated. I kind of feel like he's getting the short end of the stick because even this season, I felt like he was, even the beginning of the season before the shift and rule change, it seemed like he wasn't getting a lot of foul calls, like obvious foul calls. Like we all remember in the beginning of the season where he would shoot threes and land on people's foot and get called for an offensive foul or flop after landing on somebody's foot for who closed in under him. It was like there was weird things happening with the Jalen Brunson whistle all year. So I don't know if that's what's contributing. I don't know if that whatever's happening last year is contributing to the lack of whistles for Brunson this year, but I feel like it might have something to do with it because this is just strange.
Yeah, so I'm gonna. Yes, I'm just gonna provide my thoughts right quick. I think when it comes to if the Knicks' reputation is working against them, I just think that I guess in a way it does because if you watched how the Knicks play basketball, the Knicks are a tough, gritty team. They're a team that plays physical. So a lot of times, if a player gets hit or whatever the case may be, I don't think refs are really looking to call a foul like that just because that's the Knicks style of play. Like they know the Knicks are physical, they're gonna be. So it's kind of like where, how do I explain this? Like it could go against the Knicks, but at the same time it could work for the Knicks as well. It's one of those two-way things where it's like, yeah, the Knicks play physical, so it's like, okay, if the Knicks, maybe attack the paint or whatever the case may be, and they draw contact, maybe the refs have it in their mind, like, you know what, this is how the Knicks play. The Knicks play physical. or whatever the case may be. You know, a lot of guys on our team are not floppers on top of that. So it's like, you know, guys really play through contact, whatever the case may be. Like, that's the Knicks' identity. They play through contact. Nobody's really flailing their arms or flopping or whatever the case may be, like, you know, other players in the league, whereas like referees see that and they're like, you know what, he maybe got fouled or whatever the case may be. Like, Knicks players don't make it obvious. Knicks play through that.
Yeah.
So refs see that and the refs are like, you know what, he probably didn't get fouled, whatever the case may be, baby. Because look at Brunson, for example. Brunson gets hit, but Brunson doesn't make any reactions to show the referees that he got hit. Brunson often plays through that. And then he complains afterwards that he gets hit, while other players, they kind of make it obvious that they get hit. You know, like even sometimes with some players, like they can like someone can just like tap them, and they'll do some like flailing motion where it's like, you know, but it making it obvious to the ref, and then sometimes the refs gets fooled and they're like, you know what, I'm gonna call a foul on that. But at the same time, I think it works to the Knicks' advantage though, because defensively, that's how they play. And if the refs are gonna call less calls, you know, because they're trying to allow more physicality, I think that works for the Knicks. I think that could work in the Knicks' favor as well. But outside of maybe this game where, you know, the Knicks were getting more calls than the opposing team, the majority of games the Knicks played, the other team gets the other team gets the benefit of the doubt more than the Knicks. So I think overall, I think it does hurt the Knicks in a way, because yeah, the referees definitely respect the other team more when it comes to calling fouls and things of that nature. And yeah, the Knicks' physical play and the fact that players play through contact and things of that nature might hurt the Knicks.
Yeah.
In a way. That's I guess so. I guess so. Now that I'm thinking about it,
Yeah.
coming around.
I don't know. It seems like it's catching up to us, and I don't know. We need to send in more tapes. I agree with you, Fritz. We just need to take some fines at this point. Like, this is one of those times. This is one of those times we just need to take a fine just to make a statement, because this is getting crazy. This is getting crazy. Now, we talked about the fouls. Let's actually get to the game, which actually still might veer back to the fouls, but there was a lot of things wrong with this game too. And the one glaring thing has been the non-Brunson minutes. Whenever Brunson hasn't been on the floor, that's really when we have problems. The second unit really hasn't played great. And what happened?
My bad. Pressing wrong buttons.
Okay. The second unit really hasn't played great. And there was a crucial part in that third quarter where I thought the second unit actually was going to put the game away. Brunson, Dante, after not shooting well in the first half from three, started hitting shots. I think Knicks hit 5 threes in a row. Knicks build like a 10-point lead. The second unit comes in. It's like McBride, Bojan, Burks, and those guys. They come in, all of a sudden, 10-point lead goes away. And next thing you know, we're like down one for a second. Those type of moments we still have to survive. And those are the type of moments where I'm just like, man, I really appreciate what McBride is doing. But we still kind of need a ball handler who can run the offense sometimes, even though he's gotten better. He's still not all the way there, but he's improved. And then you're also looking at Alec Burks and Bojan, like, this is why we got you here. We got you here so Brunson can actually sit down and not have to, like Lee said before, not have to think about the lead diminishing, but bare minimum, just play even, keep it at 0. And that didn't happen. And Tom Thibodeau, he rolled the dice. He called timeout. I thought he was going to put Brunson right back in. After he called timeout, he actually rocked with the second unit, and even longer. And they fought back, but the execution there is still a bit weird, especially that one play where I felt like McBride kind of panicked and threw the ball to the corner to Alec Burks, and it turned into a fast break. Like, to me, that was like a really crucial part. The momentum just kind of flew out the window. So I don't know if you guys have anything to add to that.
Facts. I agree. I was against the trade for when it happened. I understand it was supposed to add offense, so I said, okay, that's cool. We could always add more shooters, help the spacing, but it hasn't done that. It hasn't done that at all. And our bench shouldn't be a liability with the two shooting vets. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Bogey was playing defense with his chest again. And the one time it worked though. The chest must have knocked the ball out the to the baseline. I think it was Shea. I'm not sure. I can't remember who was driving against him. He had one little swat down and he didn't it worked defensive. But the shot selections or nine, and they're getting open looks and not hitting. Alec Burke did well in the beginning that first time he came in. He did okay. It looked like the rest was doing him some the rest that he just got doing him some justice. But I'm over it at this point. I'm ready to see Shake. What's up, Shake? I'm over it.
Man,
I ain't gonna hold you. What you got, Shake?
This was the almost good Alec Burks game if I ever saw one, man. He started off good, and then when the OKC started making his run, I think he had like 2 or 3 in shots that went in and out that were crucial shots. There was one he missed a wide open 3 that would have pushed the lead from like 10 to 13 or something like that. I don't know, but this is one of those. Oh, this is one of those games. I'm like, Burks is back. Maybe not. It was weird. He was back to building brownstones.
I appreciate his effort though. I did see a better level in his effort. I can't speak for both, but I seen a better effort on him on defense, like trying to get the rebounds, do something else.
Right.
He tried to tap the ball out. It went to OKC, but he tried. You get what I'm saying? He tried to do something.
Maybe it was the sore shoulder because he's been out with a sore shoulder. So maybe it's been the sore shoulder. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I'll say this though. Watching Burks play tonight, it does give me hope, but a lot of times it's false hope because, with Bogey and Burks this season, they'll have that one game where it's like, they might turn around the next 3 games and just play like ass. So I'm still reserving, my hope, but it's slight though. It's slight. I'm hoping for the best going forward. I'm hoping for the best.
Facts, me too. I hope that they learn to pass the ball more. You get what I'm saying? Like, Burks and Bogey, they instant just shoot. They tunnel vision.
Yeah.
And if your shot's not going in, that's not the whole game. At least try to get others involved if you're not on.
All right, here we go. I have not held an L like I am holding on Alec Burks and Bogdanovich, man. I really wanted. By the time it happened, I really wanted both of them. I wanted Bodie the whole year, but I went on SNY. I was like, we're one Alec Burks trade away from being a championship team. And here's that Alec Burks trade. And my God, they're both awful. I think I disagree with Ebony. But Bogdanovich, do not pass the ball. My man might be the worst playmaker on the team and the worst passer.
Oh, he is. He's the worst passer on the team.
I think Mitch is a better passer than Bodie, which is like astonishing.
He absolutely is a better passer.
Hold on, Lee. Because Mitch got vision. That's what I'm gonna say about that.
It's for me, Mitch is more about the hands than it is the vision. So I've been shocked at how bad overall both Burks and Bogdanovich is. Bogdanovich does not fit this team at all. The open spots he gets on the court, he's bricking or airballing or getting his shit smacked. It's like, bro, it's really frustrating at this point. And I think the Tips should have the same leash with him as he does Obi, where at one missed defensive assignment, yanked his ass because he's building a house with the Brits. He's to me, but Bogdanovich has been a net negative across the board. Now, this game itself, I don't think that there were any major atrocities committed by Tibbs or Brunson. I disagree with Sandman. I thought Josh Hart played his ass off. I thought Isaiah Hartenstein played his ass off. To me, this is about who wasn't there. And I think it's time to start having a dialogue about OG. Gotta be honest, y'all. I'm getting a little worried. I heard a lot of people whose opinion I trust think he was going to be back this game. This was going to be a good game for him to start regaining his tempo and level of consistency on the floor with the rest of the team before the playoffs start. I'm looking at Jalen Williams, who OG would have been on. And we lost this game, and it struggled to come back or lost a lead or went into 7-8 point dips because of how unstoppable Jalen was. Jalen Williams was at the power forward position, 14 of 18, 13 of 14 inside the three-point arc. He's doing whatever he wants. He was abusing Precious. He was abusing iHeart. He was abusing Hart. I mean, not having OG to cover him is why, in my opinion, we lost this game. Not because of any coaching miscues or Jalen Brunson not being clutch. Yes, we missed free throws, but this was a game where, in my opinion, if OG was in, we smack him. I think that we had the energy, we have an extra 15 points a game, and we have a defensive weapon of OG on the perimeter, stopping Jalen from making us look like a clown show G League team on defense. I mean, Jalen's a great kid. I think next year he'll probably already be an all-star. He's putting up semi-all-star numbers this year, but the efficiency that he had tonight, I'm looking down the bench. I'm like, bro, OG, what's up with the elbow, man? How serious is injury? Are we not pay you? We don't have any injury protection in his contract, or is this Stoudemire part 2? I'm starting to get very concerned about how much of a Lego this guy is, because he's someone we gave up IQ and RJ for, and I'm not seeing the return on it on a consistent health basis, and it's starting to really scare the hell out of me.
Lee?
Yeah, and I also want to throw in something right quick, just real quick. And Jalen Williams is somebody that has killed the Knicks this season, because not only did he kill the Knicks tonight at MSG, the other game at OKC, he was 13 of 17 from the field and had 36 points. So the Knicks couldn't stop him then either. And when you look at it, like in that game, that was before the OG trade. So that's when the Knicks still had Barrett quickly in that lineup in there. Nobody on the Knicks could stop him. And now tonight, yeah, we didn't have OG. And yeah, he just pretty much torched anybody that was on him. And if we had somebody like OG on Jalen Williams to kind of slow him down a bit, maybe the Knicks do win this game. So yeah, Jalen Williams is one of those guys where it's like, it seems like anytime he plays the Knicks, he just kills them, because we don't have nobody to really go up against him straight up.
Yeah, I took the words right out of my mouth. He's a guy who absolutely does kill us. And not only that, freaking Josh Giggity, man.
Yeah, that dude too.
Every game he plays against us, he has a triple-double. All of his triple-doubles have come across against the Knicks. It's so crazy. It's funny because, I mean, it's like, it's not our fault, but it's like he always has this crazy height advantage against all of our guards whenever he plays us. And I think that's a huge reason why he gets all of his triple doubles. And he got another one today. And the crazy part is we had Deuce on SGA, and SGA was in jail.
Yes.
So you looking at this game, we hold OKC to 17 points in the first quarter. SGA is getting frustrated by Deuce. What is SGA stats? SGA hit that big shot at the end.
Mm-hmm.
But he shoots 1 of 4 from 3. And he shoots 43% from the field. And he had 2 turnovers. And he was at minus 15. Lowest plus minus in the game, because Deuce was just hounding him all day. And we just have to solve that one problem in Jalen Williams, really. And we really couldn't figure it out. We even slowed down Chet. Like, Chet looked like crap today. Like, we shut him down.
Hartenstein, baby, let's go.
Yes, iHeart played like a man that's tired of getting like, I'm not getting my behind bust by 2 tall, linky, light in the behind rookies. He played like a man on a mission today. He said, "Nah, not you, Chet." And I kind of think that we went away from him and we shouldn't have. I kind of thought we ran when we were running the offense through him and he was, showing his weight, is when we started that, run in the third quarter kind of, and we went totally away from that. Huh? iHeart iHeart. He had two great passes to Josh Hart. He was actually helping Josh Hart stay involved in the offense. He had 2 backdoor passes. I think it might have been like back-to-back possessions too. And then on top of that, he was driving to the rim. He was, showing a real presence down low today. And I felt that we kind of went away from that when working. And also then when we went to the bench, that kind of slowed it down. We didn't have a complete game today. That's why we had every other quarter was a good quarter. We had good first quarters. We had a good third quarter. Yeah. But the second and the fourth quarter weren't all that great.
The OG trade especially pisses me off because of all the trades that we've done. The Detroit one, I looked at what we gave up. I mean, Grimes is out for the season with the injured. He's resting his knee and a couple of second-round picks. I don't get too upset about that. Both those guys can walk this summer and, no hard feelings. The OG one, man, we gave up our 2 young studs. the guy we drafted third, and my favorite player on the team, and Emmanuel quickly. We do have two guys, and we saw the impact of OG when he was healthy. Maybe one of the best, if not the best, one-on-one perimeter defender. And without him and without IQ and RJ, we get cooked on defense by these big, long wings that have been cooking us for 20 damn years.
We need
and
them.
OG, for the first time, we saw OG be the antithesis. He was a stopper of those type of archetypes. And now we're getting cooked again. And there's no real guarantee on his return. I'm hearing Fred Katz talking about he could be out for the entire regular season. What the hell is this? We give up two of our best young guys for a guy who's supposed to be a defensive stopper and can't stay healthy. The operation was done. His return was prolonged. He comes back. He still has swelling. Damn, bro. Are you going to get healthy before his payday or not? Playoffs start in 2 weeks, man. What the hell?
Yeah, listen, Lee, I don't even
It might
know.
help us too, Lee.
Hmm?
If we really want to keep him or not. This can definitely be
Talk about
a negotiation tool.
Yep.
For sure.
Fact.
For sure. And I don't know, you wasn't here for last show, Lee, but I was concerned because somebody, was it you, Ryan G? Somebody posted a picture of OG in Toronto, like shaking hands with fans, and his elbow looked like he had a freaking tumor on it. That joint did not look like he was coming back anytime soon. And I'm no doctor. But when your elbow got like a tennis-sized little lump on it, tennis ball-sized lump, that don't look good. Like, it do not look like he's coming back next game. Like, it looked like his first game might be in the playoffs, just from the eye test.
It might be.
Yeah.
Go ahead, bro. I'm sorry.
No, just saying that and I can't recall who it was on Twitter that I saw. I think it was Fred Katz. I could be mistaken though, but he did post something on Twitter where they asked Tom Thibodeau about the status of OG's elbow, basically asking if he's gonna be back this season. And the answer Thibs gave was very concerning. Thibs basically said that you just have to face reality and take it day by day. So Thibs didn't really give any type of, like, I guess, encouragement that OG's going to be back anytime soon, based on what he said.
I agree. It's all looking weird. And
Yeah.
this is, I don't want to be like, I don't try to be a Debbie Downer or anything, but this is why you talk about championships and stuff. We have to get healthy. These are like the intangible stuff that can keep teams from taking off. Because not only do you have to have the talent, like you need like luck, momentum, players to be healthy at the same time to carry the momentum to the playoffs. Like you need all that stuff to go right too. So like as it stands right now, we have what? Around 10 games left. There are 10 games left. Mitch re-injured his ankle. So he has to come back. He has to get into game shape.
Yeah.
Because he looked at him right now, he can give you a good 5 minutes strong. Once he gets to 10 minutes, he's breathing heavy. Then you gotta get Randall back. It seems like he's being held out for a long time. And then we got OG who's kind of limping. So we really have a really good team right now. But the intangible stuff where people have to come back and be in rhythm for the playoffs so we can be in rhythm to beat teams, like that's the stuff that you can't really quantify for right now. We just kind of have to hope that things come into play for us at the right time. So
yeah,
we just gotta wait and see what happens. Like let's just say we stay third and like things can work out. We can stay third. We can play the 76ers. Embiid ain't really back either. He might be out of rhythm. So now we got two out of rhythm teams playing against each other. You know what I'm saying? So maybe it's something like that. We catch our rhythm, we catch our stride before we get to the next game, before it gets to the next series. You know what I'm saying? It might have to be something like that. But there's like being in a championship isn't just the players and the pieces. It's like rhythm, health, luck. It's all that. It's all that combined. And we need a little bit of luck right now to get some of these guys healthy, so we can get into rhythm, so we can be back to where we was.
Yeah, I think everybody's hurt though. Again, and that could go for any team. It's just that our deepness allows us to still be in the fold of things. But you see every team. You see SGA just missed the last two for his team. You know, they just have enough to win. They did beat Phoenix without him. Josh Giggity, sorry, who shot very well today. He's been on a little shooting streak
Yeah.
the last couple 5 games. He's been like the leading scorer of their team, like about 4 times out of the last 5 games, to be honest, if I remember correctly when I had looked. So I had mentioned that kind of in the pregame that he's shooting well from there, and we can't let him go off. And that's kind of what happened. He had 12 points in that fourth quarter, I believe, at least 12 points from what I remember. And it's just, I know people get down on Hart, but they're playing a lot of minutes. And again, that comes back to you. That comes as a player, you lose your legs. The same thing with Dante DiVincenzo. They didn't play. They played the whole second half.
I was gonna mention that.
Yeah, them Deuce. They all played the whole second half, and they're playing bigger. With Josh Hart, he's playing out of position, so he's playing bigger people every night, all night, banging down there. And one thing I can say about Hart that is kind of worrying is he's going back to thinking instead of playing. He's in his head, it seems, right now. A lot of hesitation and thinking, should I, and doing that, mistakes happen.
Yep.
So I see that with Hart. But I'm not his adrenaline. He's the type of player that when playoffs come, it adds that extra little boom boom to you. And I think that's when we will see his worth the most is in that playoffs situation. And if Bogey and Burks were hitting their shot, this would be a lot different. Than Tibbs does not trust them, so he's forced to play them these crazy amount of minutes.
It's not even crazy. They 10 minutes, 5 minutes. That's like they haven't gotten more than 10 minutes a game.
No, I'm saying Josh Hart and Devo crazy amount of minutes.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah. No, I got you.
They have to. He's forced to play them crazy amount of minutes because they're not going. But if this trade worked the way it was supposed to work, then we'll see a different kind of rotation, a different flow of our team. So it'll look different when we start getting our pieces. And I really would like I really would like Tibbs to use Sims more in these type of situations. Because maybe he can be another perimeter player. We don't know. Like, just try it before the playoffs to see. I'm not saying 10 minutes, 12 minutes, but 5 minutes here to steal some minutes from somebody else just to see. I thought maybe he could have had thrown them in there with a smaller lineup to see, because Sims does switch on everything too. Just a bigger body on Jalen Williams to see what he did with him. That's what I would have liked to see. Just to out of curiosity rather.
Yeah. I think the way we play on defense, how we play so hard, and like you said, Dante and Josh in particular, playing guys who are bigger than them for that wears on you. And it's not to make excuses, because we missed a lot of free throws. We missed a lot of free throws. Way more
And
free
open
throws
shots
than we're used to missing. Jalen Brunson in particular, favorite player on the Knicks. He didn't necessarily play as many minutes as he usually plays. He actually only played 34 minutes today. He's 50% from the free throw. I really don't have any excuse for that.
I didn't particularly like his shot selection either when he came back into the game. When he first came back, it was a blocked floater he got, and it was he went against two people. It went in. He should have probably got an and one on it when he shot against two people, but that wasn't a great shot either. And then it was a pull-up three-pointer. Those are the 3 possessions, like back to back to back of JB when he first came back into the game. And I thought the offense just stopped moving, depending on him at one point.
Yeah.
In that fourth, when he came back.
I didn't mind the block shot because those are tricky, because he's a mid-range guy, and he seemingly beat Jalen Williams, and Jalen Williams he just did a good job of recovering after he got beat and got the block shot. That's the way I saw it. Anyway, the 3-point shots, though, I definitely agree with you. The 3-point shot was kind of I felt like it was like a heat check adrenaline shot or something. Wasn't necessary.
But he wasn't
really
on fire. That was
Yeah.
wasn't really
That's
necessary.
all.
He could have done without that shot.
Yes, definitely.
But yeah, Jalen Brunson missing free throws. When people, I need 2 stats from Jalen Brunson. I need a stat on when he has to, when he misses a big amount of shots when two things happen. One, when they pick him to shoot the text, he for some reason, I know he's shooting like 20% on like tech free throws. Two, when the crowd yells MVP, he almost always misses at least one free throw when they chant MVP. I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna just need y'all to unless maybe if you're away. I feel like the percentage of MVP chants when he's in free throws is bigger away than at home. Because I feel like when they Kyle chants MVP and he's in New York, I'm like, oh no, I jinxed him.
I've got myself worked up. I got like anxiety running through my body right now thinking about this damn OG elbow injury, man. You know, JLS, you mentioned championship talk. The four of us have definitely been debated on the championship out the window train. And I'm maintaining that because the amount of heart and grit this team shows with three starters out, you can call Mitch a starter, is incredible. Maintain a third seed contention while having your defensive player, two defensive player of the year candidates, really. One first, second team all defense, and an all NBA all-star is unbelievable coaching and leadership by Jalen Brunson and Tom Thibodeau. But all that possibility, the potential for championship goes out the window if OG is not healthy. I think we can sustain a 1 or 2 series without Randall and then have Randall come back and acclimate. I'm okay with that. Maybe Mitch has to sit some games. I'm okay with that. To me, the X factor in this postseason is OG. And it's not because of there's a shot going or not. I'm not worried about that. The numbers speak for themselves. Is he available? That is what is I'm really concerned. The most I've been for any player right now with this guy, because I just saw Eden Begley post that Josh Hart says that the Knicks need to continue business as usual, as if OG and Randall are not coming back in the regular season. Randall, understandable. What the hell is keeping OG out? Like the swelling, this could be a long-term problem that could have future implications for how much we pay him, how many years that is, and how much we depend on him offensively and defensively. Where we continue to have undersized and or young players at that 3 spot and 4 spot guarding the best wings in the league. That is really dangerous to any hope we have for contention.
Nah, I agree.
I definitely agree with that. Sorry, go ahead, Ryan.
No, and I think it brings me to a question that I want to ask y'all. But before I even ask the question, I do think that is why it's probably essential this upcoming offseason if the Knicks can find somebody that can kind of supplement OG, knowing that he's a player that gets injured.
That's why I said
If they got if they could find another guy who's like that wing type defender who can like come off the bench or whenever OG is out, like he might not defend to the level of OG, but you know that he's somebody that you could just slide in and he can just at least hold the fort down when he gets hurt, because OG has proven throughout his career that he cannot stay healthy a full season. He's going to miss time. That's what he's shown throughout his whole career so far. But here's my question. Worst case scenario, if OG is still suffering from the elbow injury and the swelling doesn't go down, he doesn't come back, are you still risking Randall to come back? Or are you going to ride the playoffs and be like, you know what? If OG doesn't come back, we're not going to risk Randall either. Let Randall rest and get like surgery on his shoulder, whatever he needs to rehab.
I think they would have did that already. If that was the case, I think it's up. That was a Randall call. I'm going to play in the playoffs type of thing, and I just think that at this point it's like he's going to get a surgery anyway. To me, I think he's at the end of the season he's going to get a surgery regardless. So they probably like let's just see.
I can't imagine a world where Randall doesn't come back. That's just not who he is. It seems like the Knicks might be holding him back now, but I can't imagine Randall not raising hell if he and not being able to play in the playoffs. I just cannot imagine it.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I just want to say something about the OG thing real quick. I know I love defense. Everybody knows that. And it's because when we were making the run in this game and when we were ahead and it was looking real good, it was because we didn't solely depend on our half court offense, and it got us easy shots. We made a lot of defense turn into offense because we pushed against unset OKC. OKC defense, same thing that OKC was doing to us, we kind of turned it around because OKC got into a transition, and I think that was a big part of why they were beating us in the beginning. You know, they were trying to, and why they started coming back because they didn't want us to set our defense. They would use their defense and push on every shot. You start seeing them get better looking shots because we were making it hard for them throughout the game. We just didn't do it on a consistent basis. I felt that today we did a good job starting the game with the effort on defense, offense. There was a lot of effort. We didn't leave people on the island either, and I think we went away from that, and that's because OKC started hitting shots. So it was like, do we double this person now? Do we blitz them because OKC is hitting their three? And I think we left people on the island more so in the fourth quarter, like Jalen Williams and things of that nature, and Clyde Dort. That was funny. Dort though, Clyde calling Dort Dork. A dork. That was hilarious. But like we were giving him open shots, like we were letting others shoot, which is cool. I can live with a Dort three. I'll live with that. But then the Jalen Williams and the Giddy who's hitting lately, they started getting those open threes, and I felt that our defense, we couldn't get consistent stops, and we had to solely depend on the half court offense that was set. And you've seen that, OKC can play defense. They're number one in steals, I believe.
And not only that, man, like I felt like we did a really good job in getting second chance points, mainly because of iHeart really held us down, especially in that first half.
Yeah.
Of just
the rebounding, we did well.
And Josh Hart.
Well.
Yeah, and Josh Hart, who people are flaming in the chat. Josh Hart,
it's really only one person.
Rebound that seemed impossible to me. Like I was like, yo, how are you getting?
I know.
I didn't understand how he did it, but he did it, and that's why I feel like it contributed to some of these missed free throws. Like even Dante, man, like Dante's guarding Jalen Williams. Jalen Williams has him by like 4 inches.
Mm-hmm.
Like we really need wings, man. Like we need wings bad.
We need wings. We might be able to look at OKC for some of them wings. No way they could pay all those people. They have 2 people that I would take on the Knicks in a heartbeat, and Jalen Williams and Kasson Wallace. I like that young man.
Jason Wallace, Dallas, baby.
I like that young man right there. I would take him on this team in a heartbeat. They can't afford to pay everybody. We might be able to snatch somebody there. Herb Jones. You see the there's a common theme in the people that I want on this team.
I'll definitely take Herb Jones on this team, that's for sure.
Yes.
I'll take
and
Herb
that
Jones
definitely, of course, and my wish list, but I know it's not going to happen with beating Edwards, but you already know. But you see the common theme. You see, we need those types. Maybe we draft an OKC, OG Anunoby type style player from college. Who knows?
I agree.
Ryan, to answer your question, yeah, I still bring back Randall. I think this is a year where the NBA is so wide open. There's so much parity. You gotta go for it. If he can give you 20 points on maybe 47% shooting from the field, 37% from 3, that's good enough, I think, for an Eastern Conference run, in my opinion. Maybe even further, depending on how the other team's health, those dominoes fall. But I'm looking at OG. First 3 seasons in the NBA, he averaged 74, 67, 69 games. Pretty damn good. The moment his minutes went from 20 to 30 minutes a game, in those 4 seasons, he's only had 1 season where he played over 50 games in a season. That is worrisome. That means when your usage goes up, when your number of shots go up, your role within the offense goes up, and your role as a primary defensive stopper goes up, your injuries go up alongside with it, which means the body isn't built for high usage basketball. And in a Tom Thibodeau system, that's a major red flag for me, because you better be damn ready to play 38 minutes a game. So again, I can't get off this shit. This is why I'm pissed. I'm not angry at the game. Tom Thibodeau, I thought, coached a hell of a game. Jalen Brunson, yes, he missed free throws, but overall showed why he's the 4th best scorer in the NBA. Josh Hart, dog. iHeart, dog. Precious, dog. But this OG situation is very, very worrisome. I'm just glad that we have a competent front office that I believe will make the right decision, because Leon Rose's son is OG's agent. So I'm not too worried about overpaying, but I am worried about re-signing.
Yeah, and just to piggyback what the lead just said, that's why I think it's important that if the Knicks if they could find somebody to supplement OG, like a similar type of player, to where they know OG's gonna be out for a while, and like in a way, like if they get that type of player, Stibbs has shown that if he has a full roster of guys that he trusts, he doesn't really play them 40 plus minutes like that. Because if you look at, like, for example, early in the season when RJ Barrett quickly was still here, guys weren't playing 40 minutes a game. Guys, most of them playing like 30 something minutes a game. Some guys got 20 minutes a game. Like, the minutes were evenly spread out. So I think if Thibs has like 9, 10 guys he can really trust, he's not going to play. He's not going to really play anybody 40 plus minutes a game. So I think if the Knicks can just find somebody who's like an OG prototype, a similar type of player, maybe not as good, who can come off the bench, I feel like that will cut OG's minutes down a bit to where Thibs not playing him 40 minutes a game. He's playing him more around that 30 to 35 minute range because he actually has somebody behind OG that can actually supplement his minutes and actually leave OG on the bench for longer.
Those switchable 6'7", 6'8" wings that can shoot, those guys are expensive. Now, I'm not just talking about his money. I'm talking about like pick price and player price.
Yes.
Like, people like to hoard those, which is why getting OG here was a big deal in the first place. So getting two of them is still going to be a big deal.
Well, I don't know, Jay, because again, the CBA. So that's what I'm saying. But be clearing sale. I'm optimistic with that. I'm really excited to see, because people have to be all or nothing right now. You either believe in your team or you got to make, if you believe in your team, you hit those aprons. If not, you got to make moves to keep yourself from under the apron.
Right.
Those players going to want to get paid too. They might want to get bigger roles depending on what team they're on and things of that nature. So like that's what the CBA did. It lit a fire under front offices. You either like your team or you don't. We might be able to catch somebody that we didn't think we had a chance at.
Everyone has their specialty. Mine is going through the rosters of every team in my head and thinking about who's a good Knicks target. And I've done this exercise multiple times. I always come up with the same answer. It's Herb Jones in New Orleans. Because of the crowded wing position, Ebony's right. He's also under contract to 2027, making an average of $14 million a year. That's the type of guy